Good afternoon, everyone. It's Izzy here. And so we came over to Eric's apartment and I got the board. You know, we just repaired it. If you watch video, you know, part one, I show you how to unsolder and solder the, solder and unsolder the capacitors. Okay, so now we're going to take the board and put it back into the TV, the back of the TV. Basically, it goes in here. And I'm going to go ahead and install it. Okay, so you're going to watch me install it. If you want, okay, by the way, to get to the back of the TV, you come here and you remove all the screws all the way around the perimeter of the TV, and there's 2 right there. And then there's 4 here, okay? On your TV, it might be a little different, so just make sure all the screws are out. Okay, so getting back to this. So I'm going to go ahead and do the installation process, okay? I'm going to go ahead and put everything back together, and then I'll explain to everyone as we go along, okay? So basically, this goes in here like this. This basically, you just have to make sure that none of the wires in the way. Okay, so you go like this. Take this, okay? This book falls back into a table here. You see? There's a little table here. And it just like flops right back in place. In between the tabs here, you'll make sure it's in there good. Okay, you have the connectors here. So now let me show you. It's a total of 6 screws. So it's a total of 6 screws that go in there. So you take these little screws and you put 1 in each hole. Okay, just a second here. It's a little hard because it's a little bulky. Yeah, okay, you put 1. See? You put 1 at a time. What I do is I put 1 at a time in, just give it a half a turn, just sit the board in place, and then when they're all in, then I go ahead and I tighten them all up. You don't want to tighten 1 up and then try and force the rest of the screws, because you end up damaging either the screw or the threaded part. So you see, I started off a couple of turns, and then I put it in, and there's a pattern. There's a pattern to tightening up the screws, and I'm going to show you what that pattern is in a second here. Okay, I'm going to show you what that pattern is in a second here. Let me just put these other 2 screws in here. Okay, and then this one goes in here. Okay. Now, the pattern should be like this. You start off here. Let's say you start here. Then you go over to this one. 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 See, you always want to try and do like a crisscross. And then you do this one. Okay, so now they're all in place, okay? Once you got those in place, now it's a matter of plugging in these plugs. And the way that's done is this one goes here. You just gotta be careful that you don't forget the pattern. Okay, but this one goes here, that one goes there. This one will go here. This one goes, how does this one go? Oh, here, I'm sorry. Goes here, there's a tab right here, okay? Goes there, okay? Then this one will go here. Just click it back in place, okay? Then you take this one goes here. Okay, you just basically squeeze them down, just like that. This one goes here, okay? So you just go around the board, making sure everything is connected. That's all you really have to do. Okay, and then you just make sure it's back in the clips. Make sure all the clips are back in place, okay? See how they're put in there like this? They go like that, okay? Very simple. And if you wanted to remove the board, basically you would reverse the order. You just unplug everything. What I do is I take a picture of the board with all the wires, so if I get a little confused or something, I could always refer to the photo. Anyways, you put it back together. Now it's all back together, okay? So now, what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna take the cover and I'm gonna lift the cover, put it back in place, maneuver it in, put all the screws, tighten everything back up, put the platform in. This is the base of the TV, this TV stand. Unless you have the application where you would have the bracket in the back, and you would mount it on the wall. Well, that's something different. But anyways, this is just a simple thing. We're gonna put everything back together, and then when we're ready to power it up, then we will get back to you, okay? So, hold on, you can pause that. Okay, so we will continue, I guess, in part 3. If anything goes wrong or if it's working, we'll get to it back in part 3. Okay, take care. Any comments or concerns, leave them down below. Hit the like button and make sure to subscribe.